And welcome to bexbugoutsurvivor. This is kit under 20 quid-ish. Every month I try and bring you a new bit of kit under 20 quid-ish, and today is a titanium windshield. Now there are some pros and cons to this, and the way it's been marketed as well is pretty undesirable, judging by the photographs of this windshield, because it is an enclosed windshield and it has been pictured with actual gas. If you do use gas canisters, don't keep them enclosed. We'll have a look at it. I've got my hiking pack, so in here I have all the stoves and everything as pictured in the diagrams. It's only going to be a benefit to you, I think, if you like an alcohol stove. I wouldn't use one of these with a canister. And with it being titanium, I think it's going to fit the lightweight trekker more than the weekend camper. Well, if you're a weekend camper, it really doesn't matter what size pots you put in. However, a trekker will pick a point to point on a map, and your point to point, say it's 100 miles, and if you have 10 days vacation, it's only 10 miles a day, but you can cover 100 miles and you can pick a point to point on the map and do it like that. Of course, if you've only got 5 days vacation, you're going to have to pick a tempo up and get yourself up to 20 miles, but I'm not into that. I used to be head down and plough on like that, and only to find people who are asking, where did you go and what did you see? And to be quite honest, I saw nothing other than my feet, because I was ploughing on, and I did it for bragging rights, to say I did this trek in 5 days, 10 days, whatever the trek was. But now I'm older and hopefully wiser, I take my time and I stop off at certain locations and villages and spend a bit of time there. I open my eyes and look. A very wise man once said, life moves pretty quickly, and if you don't stop and have a look around once in a while, you might just miss it. Bueller, Ferris. But let's have a look at what we're talking about. You may have seen these on eBay like this. Comes in a little orange bag, easy to find for the trekkers. The bag is absolutely filthy. As you can see, I've had this, a few months testing it for you. And a Velcro to keep it all in. There's far too much Velcro here. I could trim that down if I was worried about the grams. And obviously you would be worried about the grams because you were looking at a titanium windshield. I'm going to show you what I've seen in the diagrams on the sales pitch with this, the kind of stoves, and it just doesn't make sense. And like I said, never enclose a gas can. It needs air. The gas can will get hot in there because it's created a sealed environment almost, where it's going to superheat your gas can. Not a good idea, but I will show you how it's been advertised, because I just happen to have the same components. So this was the setup I saw in the picture advertising the sales of these. Now this is a safer option because the can sits externally of the actual windshield. You just pop over your stove like this. So I'm going to get some water into my little titanium pot with my titanium windshield. Now before I actually turn the stove on, I've got an automatic piezo ignition system on the stove. I have to remove the windshield. Once it's lit, I can put the windshield back on. my son's a nightmare to film. Yeah, I've just walked away from that. Here's the thing. Not only does that windscreen make any gas canister you've got inside it incredibly hot, if you've got titanium like I have on the pot, the handles become incredibly hot. So you need a pair of leather gloves. The stove there and the large gas canister are the heaviest stoves I've probably got for gas. It's pointless having a titanium windshield where I'm trying to save grams with such a heavy stove and such such a heavy stove and such a heavy gas can. Well, that didn't take long. I do have to remove that. I can't touch the handles, so it's not a good idea to enclose even a pot like that. But just for the gram weenies, this is my 9-gram Bex stove. It is probably the lightest stove there is you could make. Maybe about 9 grams. I bought a coffee maker with me, so I'm going to have a coffee. I haven't had one all day. There you go. Now I have marked out how much coffee I want. So what I'm going to do now is light it up, put the windshield back on, and see if I can do my coffee. It looks kind of flimsy if the wind gets that. I will do something with that, and I think you're going to like it. If you have a little canister like this, do not enclose it within that sealed windshield. This will get absolutely hot to the touch. Obviously you don't want a hot can, you've got to keep these cool. So I chose a guy in the UK who imports these in bulk, and yes, I did pay way more than 5 or 6 quid. But I just didn't want to wait, and for the extra 2 or 3 quid I thought it was worth it. So although I paid a little extra, it had a much quicker service. Okay, how much was it? Was there any change, and what are my plans for it? Now, I'm not a gram weenie or anything, but I don't see the point of putting heavier kit in your pack when you have something in your arsenal that is lighter. And for 11 quid odd, was it worth it? Well, I do have plans for it, because I think I can adapt that to actually fit on the pot lid. So it sits on the pot lid, and put the lid on, and then it encompasses even a canister stove. And then that way I haven't enclosed the canister, it will still have plenty of air. But I'm gonna have to go home and play with that idea. So how much change do we get? Well, I did say it was £11 and 2 pence, so that is £8.95 change. First coffee of the morning, this. It's only about 7:30 in the morning. So I have 3 elements of lightweight titanium, and yet married up with canisters doesn't do it justice. Now, canister stoves, by the way, I'm going to put all that in. Yeah, canister stoves usually, if you've got a good one, do not require a windshield. You just hit it on full power and you can put your pack there. Time to get up, my alarm. So on this channel you do see quite a mix between military surplus, which is the heavier elements of your kit, through to the weekend camper, a bit like I do nowadays, right through to me having my trekking kit, which is with me now. And I'm sort of gauging here, putting my feelers out for what kind of stove I can get away with. I do like canister stoves, even for lightweight trekking. I've got a trek coming up, Scotland, straight across, and that's just 82 miles and 5 days. But I will separate these videos to a military surplus based channel, and then my other channel will be just for lightweight trekking. What do I think of the titanium windshield? I think you would have to be a bit of a gram weenie, but I do have one pack which is just 35 litres. Like I said, it's less than 3.5 kilos, set for summer for a hammock, and that's 3.5 kilos, and I don't know what it is for my bivvy setup, much the same. Again, that's set for winter actually, with goose down. So I do have titanium spork, a titanium pot, and now a titanium windshield to go with it. But the fuel for these liquid alcohol stoves, unless you're going to ration yourself, the liquid fuel is heavy. I certainly don't ration my fuel one way or the other, whether that's liquid alcohol or gas. I will not ration myself. I like plenty of hot drinks. I like a coffee first thing in the morning. I like a lunch, evening meal. I like hot chocolate at night. I mean, we're up to 4 there already. You ration all you want, but please don't get bent out of shape so much that I don't. No one's asking you to carry my kit. However, part of the channel is about lightweight kit, such as these items here. So I would invest in this, provided I can make this fit a pot lid. And if I can do that, I think we're on to a winner. So until next time, you take good care of yourself, and I'll see you out there. Happy trails.